What's going on, everybody? My name is Devontae, and today we're going into injury prevention series. So when you're getting started in your fitness goals, a lot of people are just getting started out in the gym. A lot of people haven't been to the gym in some years or never actually went to the gym, and they're getting started, and you can get very hurt. Now, it's very, very dangerous if you're not doing the correct form, the correct things. And me personally, I've seen a lot of people get hurt. I can't really say I've been hurt severely from doing any type of workouts, because I was fortunate enough, because I did football and wrestling and things like that in high school. I was taught the proper form to do certain exercises. But today we're going into warm-ups. Warm-ups are huge when it comes to injury prevention. And basically what's so big about warm-ups is that when you're working out, say if you're doing a compound workout where you're incorporating different muscle groups at the same time, right? So let's take one compound workout such as the bench press, right? You're doing a bench press, you're working out your triceps, you're working out your chest, you're getting a little core in there also. You're hitting different muscle groups at the same time. However, because so many muscle groups are incorporated at the same time, it's very easy to hurt yourself. I've seen people rip their shoulders completely out. I've seen people tear muscles. I've seen a lot of different things come from like doing a bench press. And when you're doing bench press, a good warm-up is you want to get some good warm-up reps, but you also want to make sure your form's pretty good, right? So when people do bench press, you'll go online and you'll see people doing it in different ways. Probably the most common for somebody who's lifting heavyweight is they'll kind of cock their legs into like almost like kind of pigeon-toed a little bit under them, to where they can like thrust their body out a little bit more. Then you'll see them kind of arch their back off of the bench so that they have a little bit more leverage. You know, your body works a bit better. I've noticed when you add some curvature to it, you have a lot more power. That's why people curve their back when they squat and things like that. It also prevents injuries too to your back. So one, you want to make sure you're being very, very conscious of your shoulders, because your shoulder is the first thing that can get hurt when you're doing bench press, right? So a lot of it, if you look at like a Gabriel Say, he dives into that a little bit. It's called forward rotation. Is when your body when you're kind of contorting yourself like this, and a lot of people, you know, they bring their arms all the way out and they're pushing, and you see how awkward this motion kind of feels naturally. My shoulders are already rotated, and then if you can easily tear this muscle, and if you hurt your shoulder, you never really get it right. You gotta do a lot of stretching. It could come out very easily, and you can really mess yourself up and get you out of the gym for months at a time, and you don't want to do that. So you always want to make sure you have a good form. You know, if you're doing wide grip, you want to make sure that that's why you kind of arch your back a little bit, to where you're not, you're focusing more on your chest, but you're also not putting too much stress on your shoulders. You also want to make sure that your variety of workouts when it comes to shoulder workouts is pretty vast, because if you're doing a lot of wide grip and you're building this muscle up to where it's sticking out more, if you don't build up these back muscles here, you can definitely kind of build too much here and injure yourself that way. So you want to do a lot of different workouts. So normally what I like to do for warm-ups when it comes to bench press is I like to go and I'll do some warm-up reps. So for one, again, make sure your form is very, very good. You want to be very strict on your form with your warm-up reps. You want to make sure that you're really targeting those muscle groups and you're being very careful, because what happens is you start to build muscle memory off of these warm-ups and off of just doing workouts in general, but it starts you off at a good pace to where you're warming up everything. And I do about 2 warm-up reps. I also stretch, and stretching is huge when it comes to weightlifting. A lot of people don't stretch. What happens is if you stretch out those muscles, you warm them up a little bit. You know, my drill instructor used to always relate it to a rubber band. You know, if a rubber band's cold and you pull on it, it's gonna break. And that's the same with your muscles. Your muscles are almost like rubber. So if you warm them up, you stretch them out very well before your workouts, you have a lot less of a chance of getting injuries. So I stretch my shoulder out in different ways. I stretch my chest out. And then I also incorporate my warm-up reps with it. And what happens is you warm your body up a lot to where you're not putting so much stress on these muscles that haven't been in use for probably all day or a few days if you break your workouts into back and bis, chest and tris, legs, and things like that. Sometimes you may not use these muscle groups, strenuously, and it could be anywhere from 3 to 4 days, maybe even a week if you're doing 3-day splits. So it's very important that you warm those muscles up before you get started. Then you have your leg workouts, your leg compound workouts, right? So squats, deadlifts, and lunges all are very, very, very super dangerous. And they're super dangerous because you can fuck yourself up really bad. I've seen people, anywhere from your knees to your back. And one thing that you want to be very careful of in fitness is your back. If you mess your back up, there's no getting your back right. You see people that are rich that mess up their backs and they'll go for surgery. And there's so many nerve endings in there that it's very, very difficult to ever have a surgery to fix it. So you may walk with a hunchback. You may not be able to sleep at night. You may have to sleep a certain way to where it doesn't hurt. Anybody who's ever had any type of a back injury, I've never had a bad one, but I've definitely strained it, and it's not fun. I couldn't imagine actually doing some real damage to your back, because it's definitely hard to live like that. So you always want to make sure that you're doing a proper form. I'm actually going to have a video to where I can go in the gym and I can actually show you guys different ways of doing it to where you're not hurting yourself, avoiding jerking motions, not being slow, but being kind of methodic throughout your reps to where you're not hurting yourself. Arching your back correctly to where you're not putting too much strain on your lower back. Things like that. Same thing with like the bench press. You want to make sure you're getting some warm-up reps in there. You want to make sure you're stretching your legs, stretching your quads, your glutes, calves. You want to stretch everything, all your lower extremities. You want to make sure you're stretching well, because again, you're using your muscle groupings at a strenuous rate. Whether you're doing high reps or low reps, you're putting your body through a lot of stress and putting those muscles through a lot of stress. You want to make sure that they're all pretty well warmed up. Same with your back. It's not a whole lot of back workouts. A lot of people don't do a whole lot of warm-up reps when it comes to your back, but same way you can hurt yourself with doing chest or legs, you can hurt yourself just as much doing back and bis, just because again, your body, if it's too cold, if your muscles are too cold, if your muscles aren't being warmed up properly, you can definitely hurt yourself pretty bad. So you kind of want to do I like to take dumbbells and kind of just get my biceps going, stretches from my back, just making sure that I'm all the way together. I do slow reps on for pull-ups, things like that. If you can't do a pull-up, you can get on the little machines where they kind of help you out. They got them in Planet Fitness back, and doing lightweight deadlifts also can help out your back. And I definitely want to touch on deadlifts, because deadlifts are dangerous if you're not doing them correctly.
There you go. Go Matt. There you go, Matt.
Deadlifts could probably hurt you. I would say deadlifts and squats are probably the two most dangerous workouts in the gym. They're the most efficient, because if you're doing good squats and good deadlifts, you're gonna build an amazing back. You're gonna build great legs, glutes. But if you're not doing them right, you're gonna hurt yourself really, really bad. And again, you don't want to hurt your back. You definitely don't want to hurt your knees. You don't want to hurt your you don't want to tear any muscles. So with deadlifts, I'm definitely gonna have a video on that to give you a proper form on it. With deadlifts, I don't deadlift very heavy. The heaviest I may do for deadlifts is maybe 325, 330. I try not to go above that, just because I just don't feel comfortable doing it. I know the form, but it's just one of the things, you're turned into your workout. You got your headphones going with your music. You might be on some pre-workout, and you don't do the form right that one time, and you mess your back up forever. You know, so I tend not to go into too heavy of a weight. You know, I hope this was a very informative video. Definitely warm up. Stay safe out there, Reapers, and we don't chase dreams. We hunt goals. Reaper training.